कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसा धियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रूषया भजनविघ्नमनन्यमन्य निन्दादिशून्यहृदम् ईप्सिता सङ्गलब्ध्या कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसा ध्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रूषया भजनविघ्नमनन्यन्या निन्दाधिशून्यहृदम् ईप्सिता सङ्गलब्ध्या कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसा ध्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रूषया भजनविघ्नमनन्यमन्या निन्दादिशून्यहृदम् ईप्सिता सङ्गलब्ध्या Translation by Srila Prabhupada. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of the Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with uh, and one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice. Okay, Shruti Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Purna Pragna Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Sanpan Krishna Prabhuji for organizing these classes and training us. Thank you, His Grace Sanjeev Prabhuji, Her Grace Dolly Mataji, His Grace Sheetal Prabhuji, and Her Amrita Mataji for training us. Thank you, devotees, for reciting the verse. कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसेन्द्रियेत दिक्षस्ति चेत प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रूषया भजन् विघ्नम् अनन्यमन्य निन्दादिशून्यहृदयम् ईप्सिता सङ्गलब्ध्या कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसा ध्रियेत दीक्षस्ति चेत प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रूषया भजना विघ्नमनन्यमन्य निन्दादिशून्यहृदयम् ईप्सिता सङ्गलब्ध्या कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसान्द्रियेत दीक्षस्ति चेत प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रूषया भजनं विघ्नम् अनन्यमन्य निन्दादिशून्यहृदयम् ईप्सिता सङ्गलब्ध्या. Translation. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Is other devotees would like to recite? Then they can recite now.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Purna Pragya Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu for organizing these classes and training us. Thank you, Sanjeev Prabhuji, His Grace Sanjeev Prabhuji, and His Grace Sheetal Prabhuji for taking our classes. Jai. कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसा ध्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत प्रणतं विश्व भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रूषया भजनविघ्नमनन्यन्मन्या निन्दादिशून्यहृदमम् ईप्सिता सङ्गलभ्य कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसा ध्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतं विश्य भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रूषया भजनविघ्नमनन्यमन्य निन्दादिशून्यरिदमं ईप्सितः सङ्गलभ्य कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसा ध्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतं विश्य भजन्तमीशम् शुश्रूषया भजनविघ्नमनन्यमन्य निन्दादिशून्यरुदमम् ईप्सितः सङ्गलभ्य Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of the Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotees who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. Jai Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so Hare Krishna, Amrish Prabhu. I think I'm not allowed to share my screen. I think there is some setting we need to.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you made co-host now, so you should be able to.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yes, Prabhuji. Right. Right. So we studied last week the first paragraph and first reference, and we discussed about Kanishta Adhikari. So as I said before and discussed before, that this is very important verse, and we go step by step and we discuss every single points by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. So who would like to read? I think Mataji's throat is not very nice, so she's still struggling. Maybe Pradyum Prabhuji can.
Yes, Prabhuji, I can.
Yes. Oh, okay.
One should not remain a Kanishta Adhikari, one who is situated on. Shall I read from one, therefore?
Yes, we studied that, so we will start from one, therefore. Yes, Prabhu.
One therefore has to raise himself from the position of Kanishta Adhikari to the platform of Madhyam Adhikari. The Madhyam Adhikari is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 2, verse 46 in this way. Ishvare tad adhineshu बालिशेषु द्विषस्तु च प्रेममैत्री कृपोपेक्षा यः करोति स मध्यमः. The Madhyam Adhikari is a devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the highest object of love, makes friend with the Lord's devotees, is merciful to the ignorant, and avoids those who are envious by nature.
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. So this reference here, I will discuss one point from the purport of this reference. Srila Prabhupada, it's not Srila Prabhupada, but it's not Srila Prabhupada's disciples. So according to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, although a second-class devotee is eager to preach to the innocent conditioned souls, he should avoid the atheistic class of men, so that he will not become disturbed or polluted by their association. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has confirmed that a Vaishnava should be indifferent to those who are envious of the Supreme Lord. It is practically seen that when such persons are informed of the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they attempt to ridicule the Supreme Lord, thus further deteriorating their polluted existence. So here we can, let's minimize this. Yes. So here we can see that this reference about Madhyamadhikari and Madhyamadhikari devotee and how he is and how he behaves is described. So we have seen previous reference described about the Kanishta Adhikari, a neophyte devotee who is a beginner and his faith is weak. So he requires constant guidance and instructions to be able to remain focused and progress in devotion service. Now, at the intermediate stage, devotee's faith is firm and he is engaging in the transcendental loving service of the Lord fully. So he can differentiate who is innocent, and who is atheist, and what is the transcendental position of the Supreme Lord, and what is the constitutional position of a spirit soul. So he is fit for preaching in that. So on intermediate devotee he is avoiding atheistic people to save them further deteriorating and save himself from unnecessarily disturbance by their association. So he is not judging here. So we should point this, we should understand this point, that he is not judging. Actually, this categorization of devotees and respecting accordingly is not judging, but this is the this is the way to reciprocate with different levels in order to cultivate them and give them chance to grow in devotion service. So it is instead of helping them, how the neophyte stage, how we behave with them, how intermediate level, how we behave with them, and how we can respect or take association of Uttamadhikari. These are different levels of devotees and different levels of reciprocation. So that's why the preaching is done at the Madhyamadhikari stage. Because Kanishta Adhikari cannot preach because first of all, he doesn't know who is innocent and who is atheist. His faith is weak, and if Mayavadi comes in contact with them or him, so he associate with Mayavadis or materialists, then his faith in Krishna consciousness can easily be destroyed. So the faith is very weak. So that's why the preaching is done only by the Madhyamadhikari. And Kanishta Adhikari requires constant guidance and instructions always from the higher level devotees. Otherwise, so he can deviate very easily. Kanishta Adhikari can deviate very easily. Madhyamadhikari is firm. He is firm in the philosophy, is fully engaged in devotion service, and thus he is eligible to preach because he can differentiate between the innocent and the atheist, and he can avoid atheist people. So that's what the reference here about these points, the reference given by Srila Prabhupada here. So we'll read further.
This is the way to cultivate devotional service properly. Therefore, in this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami has advised us how to treat various devotees. We can see from practical experience that there are different types of Vaishnavas. The Prakrit Sahajiyas generally chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, yet they are attached to women, money, and intoxication. Although such persons may chant the holy name of the Lord, they are not yet properly purified. Such people should be respected within one's mind, but their association should be avoided. Those who are innocent but simply carried away by bad association should be shown favor if they are eager to receive proper instructions from pure devotees. But those neophyte devotees who are actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master and are seriously engaged in carrying out the orders of the spiritual master should be offered respectful obeisances.
Yes. So here the first point um, about the Prakrita Sahajya, So they generally chant or doing kirtan of the holy name of the Lord, but they are very much attached to women, money, and intoxication. And so their association should be avoided, as Srila Prabhupada is saying here. So we respect them in the mind only because they are uttering the holy name of Krishna. So, and the second point is about neophyte devotees. So, who are initiated and seriously engaged in following the instructions of spiritual master, they should be given proper humble obeisances. So, we can see here that Srila Prabhupada are explaining two types of Kanishta. One is Sahajya, who is not purified, and second is initiated devotee and engaged in purification seriously. So we must be able to differentiate and pay respect accordingly. Because initiation, we have discussed last week that there is a Harinam initiation. It started in ISKCON only to get people started in chanting and following four regulative principles and engage in different services. This is not recognized in other Vaishnava sampradayas and not mentioned in scriptures also. But somehow or other, this has become big for some people and totally misunderstood. The sorry, the misunderstood. Yeah, the totally they are misunderstanding about the purification process, because some devotees taking it all in all or taking it as a symbol of status. So they are initiated and others are not initiated, and receive like they receive a new name, so they think they are better off from others. So this is clearly shows the Kanishtika Adhikari mentality. But showing respect to devotees according to their status, that's what we are studying in this verse. We're talking about, we're understanding different levels of devotees. So the Kanishtika Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, Uttam Adhikari. A Vaishnava is always respect everyone, but according to their status. So judging is different, paying respect is different, and how we pay respect, paying obeisances, Dandvat Pranam, or in the mind, or are doing services to the Mahabhaga, their association. So these are different types. Hold on, just see if there's any other points on that. Yeah, no, that's the points of cover of this paragraph about the neophyte devotees and Prakrita Sahajyas. So have you got any question about this so far?
Rosie, I have one question.
Yes, Praveen.
Hare Krishna Bhaji. So you mentioned just now that this Harinam initiation is not mentioned in any scriptures, or like it was started in ISKCON itself. So like before people used to is it like before ISKCON and all this was started, so people used to chant Hare Krishna without initiation, like we also do, like formally we have not taken, but we still start with chanting only, like whenever a neophyte devotee even comes, so we start with chanting only. So is that so that was for like people to get started with chanting, as you said. So is it not required now, or is it not required for a person who already understand that chanting I can automatically do without having a formal initiation?
Okay. Very nice question, Prabhuji. Well, I will describe what my understanding is, and then I will ask His Grace Amrish Prabhu for clarification. So as Prabhuji described before, that there are 3 types of initiations, the Vedic initiation, Bhagavad Vidhi initiation, and for initiation for deity worship, Brahman initiation, So the deity worship initiation, you require certain mantras and certain ways to do it. So you require initiation, proper everything. And for chanting of the holy name, as I said, the Harinam initiation started in ISKCON to get started people in bringing people into Krishna consciousness. So that is not a formal initiation, like it's not a mentioned in scriptures, but it's before, as you asked that before, that what people were used to do. So as deity worship, people used to get initiation, but in Bhagavad Vidhi initiation, you don't need a formal yagna or a formal name change and all those things, because you're getting instructions from your Guru Maharaj, or you're getting instructions from your seniors. So yeah, so that initiation is something they started, something is started in ISKCON to bring people. So before that it wasn't there, right? So before that it wasn't there. So that's my understanding. So now I'll request His Grace Amrish Prabhuji is here, that a little bit explain more on this topic. Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much. I think what you have spoken is correct at this point. But as the question that has been raised, this question was not raised before, no? So I've not revealed this information in detail. So what you said is summarizing the point. That is correct. Now I'll give a bit more information. So please listen very carefully. Okay. Now I want to ask one question to all of you. What comprises of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya? Name me some names of organizations. With leaders, I have spoken in the Leader Sangha a couple of months ago. But if you do not know this, you can also answer the question. So please, all of you, just name Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, the organization.
Prabhuji, I know about ISKCON and Gaudiya Math only.
Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else? Even those in Leader Sangha who are in the intermediate program, you can answer the question, please. This is very important. History, to know the history, you will get the answers of today and tomorrow. What is happening and why it is happening. Therefore, finding out history is very important.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, we discussed a few months ago.
Yes.
There were different, like Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Chaitanya Math, Gaudiya Math, and ISKCON is one of the branch. And yes, Prabhuji, it's different. There are other names as well. And they got different initiation by the lineage process as well from their parampara. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I think
Yeah.
you also said it once that there are some people who don't consider ISKCON also.
Yes.
Something that.
As Gaudiya Sampradaya. Yeah. So we have to understand these things. And if you read Srila Prabhupada's books, I have made some notes, not all the notes. There are unlimited examples. The Prabhupada says ISKCON is one part of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, Gaudiya Vaishnava. Only one part. But within ISKCON it becomes very important. You understand this point? Like within Hare Krishna weekend, we Hare Krishna weekend are very important. But outside of Hare Krishna weekend, Chaitanya Saraswati Math, Gaudiya Math, ISKCON, whatever other place, we are not so important. You understand? Similarly, within Gaudiya Math, ISKCON is not important at all. They not talk to you. I mean, I'm sorry, please don't get me wrong. I do not want people to misunderstand this discussion. Those who are going to listen to this discussion from who are not in part of this team by the intermediate level program, who are not part of Hare Krishna weekend group, teaching study group program, you will misunderstand these discussions. So my suggestion to you is please don't listen to this discussion. If you want to listen, my request to you is that do not make shorts or videos selectively. It is not allowed. What we are discussing is this our history, which is a fact, which is how we understand. You may understand differently in the future, listeners, up to you. So this is a disclaimer. So this is for only those devotees who are following Hare Krishna weekend today, will follow in the future, and who want to understand it in our way. If you don't want to understand your way, you understand your way, no problem. But whatever I'm saying is historical fact. I try to be as close as possible to that. Okay, right. Now please understand this point. Srila Prabhupada appeared when? How many years ago?
1896.
Yeah. When did Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj appear? Just search Google. Google. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, when did he appear on earth?
1874.
1874. So when did he establish Gaudiya Math? Search out.
September 1920.
1920. So that is when Gaudiya Math was established. Chaitanya Saraswati Math was established after that by his followers. ISKCON after that by Srila Prabhupada. So till 1920, there was no Gaudiya Math. There was no preaching of Bhakti Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So what does it mean to you? You mean to say before that there were no Gaudiya Vaishnavas? Yeah, now don't read now. You can do a research afterwards to answer my question. So what do you think? Before 1920, before Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada established Gaudiya Math, there were no Gaudiya Vaishnavas in this world? Say yes or no. Your voice, please.
There must have been, Prabhuji.
Not must have been. There were, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 400 years ago. He started the whole Gaudiya Vaishnava movement. Bhakti Siddhanta started his preaching program. Gaudiya Math is a preaching program. Before that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 400 years ago. How many years? What is the year in which Mahaprabhu appeared? Give me the date, please. Google and tell me.
1400.
86.
86.
Correct? Mahaprabhu appeared when on earth? Come on, man. I can search in a minute, in a second.
February 1486.
Yeah. So he appeared at that time. So from 1486, and after a few years, he started to preach, correct? So till 1920, there was no devotees, you're saying. This is the folly of our complete gross foolishness. Just like we have Hare Krishna weekend preaching program started in 2002. Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, great personality, Ray of Vishnu. He's our great grandfather. From him we appear. Please don't misunderstand. I'm just giving an example. He started a preaching program in 1920 separately. Before that, what was happening? That is important to know. And we are completely foolish because we do not know this. And nobody asked this question to me before, so I never answered the question. All of you asked the question, so very clever of you. So listen very carefully. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and he preached. Okay. He also took initiation from Madhva Sampradaya. Okay. And in Madhva Sampradaya, he took initiation from Ishwar Puri. Before that, Madhavendra Puri. It is Madhva Sampradaya worships Krishna in opulence, awe and reverence. It was Madhavendra Puri who preached spontaneous love. First person, he certainly moved away from completely different. And with it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expanded from this. Okay, please understand this point. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who moved on, who expanded from that point. Now, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers, who are they? Advaita Acharya, Nityananda Prabhu. They were preaching. Nityananda Prabhu's wife preaching. They were preaching. So preaching was going on. And there were 11, 14 streams like this. They were called Parivar. Nityananda Parivar, Advaita Acharya Parivar. So many of them. Okay, but who are directly with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas, who were participating with Mahaprabhu. They were preaching. It was a preaching movement, right? Mahaprabhu said, Jara Jako Tara Ko Krishna. So they preached. I said, give initiation to everybody. Give Isha to everybody. On my behalf. Give. So they were doing it. So if you read Prabhupada's books very carefully, Prabhupada writes this. Then what happened is this, that now all of them, like we read our Acharyas' poems and songs. Name one Acharya whose songs we sing.
Srila Narottama Das Thakur.
Narottam Das Thakur also has a follower. Narottam. Now they all have got different tilaks. They identify each other by tilaks. So as you come to Vrindavan, you can be you saw different tilaks. Some of you asked me this question. I said, you ask me more, I'll give you more information. So they identify by tilaks. Okay, right. Now this were at that time authentic disciplic succession. Even now, they are authorized and authentic disciplic succession. Bona fide. God Vaishnav. Till such time that Bhaktivinoda Thakur came. But what happened is over a period of time, all this, there were more of them were not a major preaching religion. They were by hereditary, by seminal. So a father, then a son becomes a guru, his son becomes a guru, his son becomes a guru. Goswami. They call caste Goswami. So you see Prabhupada writes caste Goswami. The word. Means by this, the Goswami by caste. Even in Vrindavan, if you go, this I'm the 12th generation disciple of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Remember we went to a temple? Anyone remember this? Raise your hand if you remember it. If not, I'll not elaborate further. You remember? One person said, I'm 12. And he gave knowledge also. Good knowledge. Remember this? Raise your hands if you remember. Only one. So this is how we have to understand these points. And you ask me the question, what did he talk about? You asked, you said this, you said that. Please don't worry about it for me. There's a lot to be learned. So they by birth they become guru, not by qualification. Again, completely different from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. Okay, Mahaprabhu. Okay, now they say we even by birth and even by Shiksha also you can join us. No problem. So they have got a direct lineage. Our lineage is what? From here, there, we went. But they have got direct lineage. They can directly say, Nityananda Parivar, Nityananda, these are the Gurus in their Parivar, and here it's Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Straight. by diksha, you can, by proper diksha, Guru Mantra diksha, you can reach there. Same Advaita Acharya, same way. Now what happens is this, that the preaching over a period of time was very restricted. And this Prakat Sahaja has entered into the place. That's what Prabhupada writes here, first point in Kanishta Adhikari. First point, Prabhupada did not say initiated, but who are thinking about, who are neophyte. He said Prakat Sahajas. Is it not so? You read this point today?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Just read the sentence again, please. When first point Prabhupada says about Kanishta Adhikari, who are those?
Yeah. So this is the way to cultivate devotional service properly. Therefore, in this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami has advised us how to treat various devotees. We can see from practical experience that there are different types of Vaishnavas. The Prakrita Sahajas generally chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, yet they are attached to women, money, and intoxication. Although such persons may chant the holy name of the Lord, they are not yet properly purified. Such people should be respected within one's mind, but their association should be avoided. Those who are innocent but simply carried away by bad association should be shown favor if they are eager to receive proper instructions from
So
pure devotees.
then Prabhupada talks about those who are not knowing about Krishna consciousness, the Kanishta. This is how we understand. Those who don't understand, they are Kanishta. We teach them. But we completely forgot the first point. Prabhupada wrote so much information about Prakat Sahajas. And we discussed about Sahajas also in the past. We make it very easy, but we don't really dwell in the subject. We don't have the intelligence. हमारे सर में भूजा भरा हुआ है, कितना है बोलो, समझेंगे ही नहीं हम. हमें जो समझना है वही समझेंगे, गधे लोग हैं हम लोग सब. So we should be very clever about this. That means over a period of time, all these followers of Nityananda Parivar, Advait Parivar, Shamananda Parivar, we went to, Shamananda his Parivar. They not talk to us generally. Say, oh, we don't. Okay, you are good, very nice, all very sweet. That's why many times devotees they fight. You say, you want our money, it's not devotees' money, but you don't recognize us. I've seen the fight. But you will walk away. You will not understand it. Oh, how that's it. You were sleeping, They told you in devotional service, all our senses should be open and vibrating 100%. Then you understand what's going on. There is a meaning of association with devotees when you meet. When you're sleeping, then what is the point? When you're sleeping, things are going on around you, you don't know. You're sleeping. My head is spinning, neck is spinning, leg is spinning, this is spinning, that is spinning. You know that only. So what happens is this, that over a period of time, these parivars, they're preaching, they are still existing. We went to Radhakund. It is full of them. And they're authentic devotees. Many ISKCON senior devotees have left. And say because we get more information there, we're going there. So many of them. Okay? All right. So, till now, there was no Chaitanya Math, no Gaudiya Math and all that. Please understand this point. It's only this. So what happened is this, that over a period of time, preaching slowly disappeared. Because those who were following Mahaprabhu, they said, okay, I'm Krishna, you're Radha, and they would have sex, and they would have dancing and all this going on. And different women comes to Radha for the Guru, and he has sex with them, and all this is good. You may find it obnoxious now. Because they've been trained to act like this. Otherwise, you say this is normal. And they will cry also. There are even today existing big movement, about thousands of them, followers. Okay? Till the stage of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He said, this is. So he also had to take initiation. He took initiation from Nityananda Parivar. Okay? Bipin Bihari Ghosh was his guru's name. Now again, we say that he rejected his guru, correct? We say Bipin Bihari. But their sampradaya, they say no, not rejected. This is wrong information given by ISKCON. He still accepted them. You say, even Bhaktivinoda Thakur is written to say, I used to eat meat. After initiation, I stopped eating meat. He was very fond of eating meat. So don't live in some fool's paradise. He used to eat meat. So the Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But you can become pure after that too. So after his initiation, where he goes, proper diksha, stop it. And he was the one who saw this is not the way, because he was a district magistrate, intellectual personality. He said this is not the way Mahaprabhu's, even Mahaprabhu's, where he was born in Mayapur, was somewhere else. They worship another place of Mahaprabhu's appearance. So he did the research because he had access to the documents, and he said the Mahaprabhu is here on this side. Nodip is here, which became Miyapur, which is called Miyapur. Mayapur became Miyapur. So he proved it to say this is Mayapur. And all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, majority, all of them, they rejected him to say, no, this is wrong. Mayapur is on that side of Jalangiri. So that is why he said, okay, there is one sadhu, sannyasi here amongst us who is accepted by everybody as proper personality. And his name was what? You've seen the videos. I showed you video. Whom we accept as Guru of Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Jagannath Das.
Jagannath
Yeah.
Das.
So Jagannath Baba is not a guru of Nityan, of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But he told him, he will show us whether what I'm saying is correct or what all of you are saying, which have been worshipped for 300 years, is correct. So for 200, 300 years, they worship a different place of Mahaprabhu's appearance. Not Mayapur as we know today. So when he was brought, he was 130 years, something like that old, you know. He jumped from his potli when he was made he was carried, you know, he couldn't even sit properly. He jumped, he said, this is the place. That's when he accepted. That's when today Mayapur is accepted as the proper. And no, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur did not take Diksha from Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. He took Diksha, yes. And we were told that because Prabhupada told us that he rejected his Guru, we accepted his. That's okay. Between Bihari Ghosh, he rejected. It's very difficult to reject a Guru. Okay? So it is him at this stage that, what are you guys doing? This is not the way to preach Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu's movement would be preached to the whole world. That's why he wrote books, went to Munich library, I sent you that. He did on his own. And he thought, it's not going to work. I require somebody else to help me. That is when he prayed to Jagannath in Jagannath Puri, to the deity Bimala Devi, whose Bimala Devi is mother Durga, whose temple is there outside Jagannath Puri temple. In the courtyard, he said, please send me somebody, a son, who can help me preach. That is when Srila Bhakti Srila Thakur Prabhupada appeared. Now listen very carefully. I'm not going to repeat these things again. If you're going to sleep now, sleep forever. How did he know that Bhakti Siddhanta is the correct person, being sent by his prayers was accepted? He was to be district magistrate. He was to be magistrate in Jagannath Puri. So he was by default trustee of Jagannath Puri temple. And at that time, once his house was there, it is true. Today, even temples are there. I've been there. We'll take you, all of you, if Shri Gurudev permits. And outside that home, when Bimla Prasad was very small, in a mother in the mother's lap. So Jagannath Rath Yatra stopped there, and Lord Jagannath's garland fell on him, the child. That is when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, this is my son who has been born. My prayer has been fulfilled. That is why he was named Bimla Prasad. Means mercy of Bimla Devi. And true to it, he said, I want to take initiation. He said, he want to preach. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj, Prabhupada, appeared And when he saw this, under the guidance of his father, he said, what is this going on? Nobody is preaching. What is going on is Sahajiyas. Complete Sahajya situation right now. Okay, we'll allow Deepak Prabhu to talk, no problem. Krishna, just allow. So we don't want to accept this. He said, I do not care about this situation. So what he did was, he said, ask his guru, his father, I want to take Diksha. Now we are told that Srila Bhakti Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a guru of Srila Gaur Kichara Babaji Maharaj. Correct?
Yes.
This is also not correct. Factually incorrect. These are factually incorrect. I'm sorry to say. I'm not demeaning ISKCON or Srila Prabhupada. I'm telling you this is not factually correct. Just like Srila Srila Jagannath Babaji Maharaj are not Diksha Guru of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Similarly, Srila Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj is not a disciple of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj was a disciple of Srila of the Advaita Sampradaya. Completely different Sampradaya. Sorry, different lineage. Our same Sampradaya, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, but different. This I want to say. And at some point in time, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to take Babaji initiation from Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj. You get the point? Okay. But they used to have discussions, very close discussion, relationships. So by Shiksha, he may accept him as his senior. But who's senior here, we do not know. Because even Bhaktivinoda Thakur accepted him, they want to take Babaji away from him. But he wanted to, maybe taking Shiksha from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It's possible there. So this was not very important at the time. And when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Prabhupada said how to take Diksha, so he was given the name. Okay, then you go take from this thing, Just one second. So, yeah. And it is the Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Prabhupada. He was only disciple of Gaur Kishore Prabhupada. And he took sannyas, Diksha, from Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj again after his disappearance, from his photograph. And he called himself Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. That is why he was still in the minority, very so many people were there. Remaining huge were all these parivars, which are called traditional parivars. Even existing today also, there are big numbers. They say, what is this going on? How can you take Diksha from a photograph of your guru? So even today they reject this. So they reject everything what Bhakti Siddhanta has done. In a room, if you take Diksha of a photograph, it's very difficult for people to understand this. We accept it because you have been trained. You understand this? Otherwise, you say, what is this going on? How can you take the Diksha from photograph and, say no Diksha? We accept it. Because for us, full stop. You've been trained this. Because the information is given to you afterwards, not initially. That's why we keep it open. You can decide whatever you want to decide. You may take Diksha from other sampradaya, from other, lineage, who are directly lineage. Many have done it. If you want to do it, You will thank me, as I told you. Because we are doing Bhagavad Vidhi, you will thank me one day, not today. You want to understand things today. In the future, you will thank me. Wow, Amrit Prabhu saved us, man. Because if I give Diksha, then you have to reject me and then go there and all. I am not qualified anyway, but right? So, when Bhakti Siddhanta said, I am going to preach, they said, we don't accept you only. What are you going to preach? what will be your disciplic succession? So you got a version. How? By Diksha, how will you do it? That's why I said, by Shiksha, I will do it. So that is why I said, okay, God Krishna Babaji, then here, then there, then that connection, that connection, that connection, by Shiksha. And there are 100 years difference between the death of one Guru, one Sanya, one Acharya to another Acharya. They are not even met. But he said, we take this. Why? Because the instructions are followed here. Even that was rejected. So you see this point, you understand this point? Our whole, from Bhakti Siddhanta, Sri Thakur Prabhupada, afterwards, everything is by Shiksha and not directly also. It's not one here, 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 here. Although Prabhupada says, Guru Shishya till Krishna. It is not like this. This is a historical fact. And in preaching, now we come to the preaching part. In preaching, Bhakti Siddhanta, because he was very powerful, he was given the name Siddhanta because he wrote commentary on Surya Siddhanta, astrological book. He was a very strong astrologer. So because of Surya Siddhanta he wrote, it was very difficult to understand. You try to understand fifth canto, मुझे सब बाउंसर गया fifth canto, समझाया नहीं मुझे. अब अभी समझाता है, समझता नहीं है. He wrote commentary on the huge literature called Surya Siddhanta. That is why he was called Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So understand the meanings behind it. We're a small children, he going up and down. I don't like this at all. I hated this. Now people are asking the questions, so I'm very happy. I'm jumping up and down. Otherwise, you're silly people. That's it. Accepting everything going on, close eye. अक्ल ही नहीं है हम लोग. ये दिमाग की बात है ये. So because he said, okay, now I'm going to preach. How am I going to preach? He said, I'll make devotees into Brahman. I want to have temples. So I said, how will you make temples? You require deities, so you require pujaris, correct? Who will come to you for pujari? Because pujari ke liye, that even now, it's a very traditional way. 200 years ago, it was 1920. He was very, very traditional at the time. He said, okay, I will give them Pachas Diksha. So that is why he said, okay, first those who come to me, because they were completely ignorant people in the villages, educated people also, they'll be eating fish, Bengalis, or even non-Bengalis, eating meat, being vegetarian also. But it's okay, first you stop eating this, chant, 6 months you do this, then we'll do it. So he started this first point of say, okay, I'll give you this, Hare Naam first, 6 months, stop all these things, and after that we'll look at it. After 6 months, he said, okay, now after this more study this book, study that book. Now he required people to do deity worship. He said, I'll give you. Because he was criticized by Brahmanas, Smartha Brahmanas. Smartha Brahmanas are not some demeaning people. Smartha Brahmanas are meant caste. They're very chaste Brahmanas. You see, in South India, those who are born in Brahmanas are very pure, very pakka. This is called Smartha Brahmana. They say, what is this going on? You're making anybody do deity worship? He said, no, then I will give them proper Janoi. I'll give them Janoi. I'll give them this mantra and they'll become. That is why even today, within ISKCON, you may be Brahmana, wearing Janoi. Outside, you're still caste, whatever your caste is. Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, or whoever Brahmana you are. You don't say my caste has changed, they'll kick you out of the society. Okay, you don't have yourself to be Brahmana and your brother is not Brahmana, your brother is this and that. Nothing like that. But inside you are, this is how it is. So for preaching, he did this to tell people this is wrong. Okay, I understand it's wrong. Now it is right. I give them Brahman. Correct the point? Understand this point? Right. So that is why the first initiation and second initiation began. And till today, this is rejected by these people. They say in our process there is no Vedic sacrifices. We have got yagna, initiation. People sit down like this, very nice, and there's ya swaha, om agnana swaha. This is not a Vedic sacrifice. It was not Vedic sacrifice. Yagna. It is created. He said we have to do this. So what is this? What are they saying? Om agnana timirandasya gnananjana salakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha Shri Chaitanya manobhistam stapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa. You sing all this. You sing this because saha and you swaha hum brahman ho gaye. Oh, very good, very good, very good. Foolishness. And then they add other mantras also, which is good. Oh, pavitram, pavitrova. So now this is how it added. So they say, what is this? This is not yajna. We don't even do this thing. So before Bhakti Siddhanta, a guru would give initiation by just you take one side, in the ear, he would give the mantra, Brahman give it's finished. They don't even do anything, no discussion. But here, proper, structured, formalized preaching begin with Bhakti Siddhanta. So he had, okay, now there will be leaders who will teach, be under them, proper program is going on, study these books, study that book, this how it is. And then before he passed away, he made a GBC. And everything was a mess there. The Prabhupada did the same thing. Prabhupada continued what his Guru Maharaj started. Same Guru Shishya Parampara was continued. Although it is debated, same way first initiation, second initiation was continued. But within ISKCON, everything is big, big. Outside ISKCON, they don't reject it. What is this? We don't reject it. We don't accept it. There is not even yagnas being done. So we don't do yagnas also. Barabar Kari Chaitan Mahaprabhu, what did he say? What is the yagna of the age of Kali?
Sankirtan Mahayagna.
Bas, khatam, baat ho gayi na, to you got the answer. Any person who comes for the first time in the temple, you say, no yagna is important, Sankirtan yagna is important. After 1 year, you say, sit it is, give me 400 rupees, 1000 rupees, $1000, yagna and get yourself purified. Hare man, we discussed this in Vrindavan, man, this point. You tell me what's going on here. So this is the point. Again, there is dilution of preaching. So preaching ke liye sab hua yahan par. And I'll tell you one very important thing. This may be just words for you, but I have to say this, I'm telling you. Every sampradaya, every disciplic succession, they give one mantra. This mantra is a mantra of your spiritual identity in Golok Vrindavan. Either you are a peacock of Krishna or Radharani's peacock, or you are a Manjari or Sakhi, any of this. This identification is given by Guru. They give you what dress you wear, where your location is, what you do, what is your age, all this is given. This is called Pranali mantra. This is given by a guru to the disciple. And in all disciplic succession, in all Gaudiya Sampradaya, there is Pranali mantra exists. It is not openly given to anybody. It is not even written, which can be copied. This is not given by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And they challenge this. They say we challenge Bhakti Siddhanta and his followers also. Have they got any of these mantras? They will not have. This mantra they will not have because they don't have it. And which is correct. Okay, even Narayan Maharaj said, you require this mantra from the Guru, all these things. It's correct, he said all these things. But he never gave. There were many of the followers of Narayan Maharaj also, they went and joined other. So as you grow, you will understand this deeper, this nitty-gritty a bit more. Right now, you're just understanding basic concepts. But Srila Bhakti says, and there was during Prabhupada time also it happened. Disciples heard all these things. They used to go on their own to Vrindavan. All these Westerners, new people, you know. So somebody said to him, no, you don't have these mantras. You cannot go to Godhead. I can give the mantra. Take initiation from me. They took it. That is why Prabhupada became very upset. So first become qualified. Then you become this. You see, so we accept this point. First become qualified, then will be revealed this information. And Harinam, Guru reveals. Prabhupada also had Guru reveals. But how will you say if Guru himself doesn't know? You understand this point? The answer is this. We may not have the mantra, but it is revealed by the holy name. And the Guru reveals to the holy name. This is a very complicated and big topic. I summarized in few minutes right now, 20 minutes or so. There are much more things to be discussed. But this is the meaning of the first initiation, second initiation. Before that was not existing. It became Bhajananandis and Goshtianandis required for preaching. That is why we did all those things. And that's why even now within ISKCON, There are discussions to say that we don't require this Diksha mantras too. Because Gurus are falling down left, right, and center. Mother will not have it, but Diksha only will do it. They are now proposing it, but very minority. Those who are very intellectual, they are proposing this. Vast majority, they don't read, they don't study. My Guru, pure devotee. He himself says, Bhanuswami, what pure? They are Madhyamadhikaris. Then the disciple asks, but we have to accept him, my Uttamadhikari. It's up to you, you accept it. Nowhere does the GBC write that they are Uttamadhikaris. Disciples only say, my Guru is Uttamadhikari. Good for you, man. I know that His Holiness Maharaj Goswami Maharaj is Uttamadhikari. Why? Because I was at the lotus feet of Maharaj when Maharaj departed. And I can tell you this. It was not ordinary. I explained to our Leader Sangha program what happened. I showed them videos also about it. But as a witness, this is not extraordinary. That's not ordinary. It's extraordinary how he departed. So that's why I said after departure of Maharaj, I told my God brothers, said, now we'll tell all these big people. Now your turn to show us how to go back to God. You've done it. 2 days, Maharaj's body was completely flexible, like this, after departure. Hand up and down, legs up and down, no problem. I was here. 2 days I was in front of Maharaj, chanting, doing Gayatri, video recording. Then Maharaj, somebody took my disappearance. Next day was, we can't do it. After that, and when that happened, of course, the curtains were closed. They visited Maharaj. They said, my hands were so simple. Movement is simple. No struck, because people who die, they become very stiff. No way. And I could also see Maharaj's, there was a this thing from the skull where the soul goes, the spiritual world. I was there by chance. I was there. I was recording and I said they were discussing the saw it and I was zoomed in. It is there, recorded. So that's what I'm saying. I talk to Maharaj now. You can talk to Maharaj also. Prabhupada too. But this is the case. But this is a fact. Whatever I've said, to my full knowledge, is a fact. Now, I don't want you to trust me. I want you to do your own research and see whether I'm speaking the truth or not. Do not follow me. Do not trust me, because I'm nobody. All those who are not part of the group, Hare Krishna WECAN, listening to this discussion, coming because it's controversy, whatever it is, not controversy. Listen to this whole point. I'm telling you, I'm nobody. So you do your research. Everything is there available. But if you want to sleep, you're fine, go to sleep. And there is a reason why we say we do it by Bhagavad Vidhi. So tomorrow, if you feel like you can take Diksha from somebody, do it. But go back to Godhead from that Diksha person, not from Maharaj Goswami Maharaj. Maharaj Goswami Maharaj, 100% here. You cannot have one leg there, one leg there. You can remain there, 2 legs. It follow, you can keep coming, no problem. But sorry, preference will be given to those who are 100% follow. Very simple. This is what I wanted to share minimally. The more you ask me, if I've got more information, I will reveal to you. And this is one of the reasons why we say do not go alone in this place. Even when we went to all this in Vrindavan, someone didn't touch us because of the way I was holding myself. They see, oh, he's with somebody else. Leave it. Okay, all done. Maybe we are away from the time. We should stop the discussion. Sorry, Sanjeev Prabhu, I have to mention these 2 points. Which I don't want to take away your discussion. Excuse me. Hare Krishna. So you are muted, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Sorry, Prabhu. Yes. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for elaborating nicely on this point. These are very important points, as you mentioned before as well, and should be engraved in our minds. So we will stop here now, and we will start, we will carry our discussion next Sunday, where we stopping now. So this is very important points.
And do your research. Do your research. Don't trust me.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying. Please.
yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. So we'll stop here and then we'll start the next program. I think Prabhu, did you raise any? Raise this?
I just wanted to ask Oli. Thank you, Amrish Oli. So if we have questions regarding the discussion that we just had, so can we do it out in the next session, or we have to wait for the text to complete?
Let Sanjeev Prabhu think about this, because you have to consolidate. You have to think whether after the text is over, there will be other points also coming. So this question may be diluted, or that now it is very warm topic, so we can continue with the discussion. As a tutor, that is his authority. I cannot intrude in his authority. What he thinks beneficial for the students, that he will decide. If he says, yeah, we can continue with it may again take 1 session, 2 sessions. His discussion may get diluted. So he's got all nice, the full authority to say, no, we'll have, after all the questions can be discussed together, then we can have 4, 5 sessions for it, no problem. So whatever you think, Sanjeev Prabhu, you think about it. No need to talk to me. If you have any questions, it's fine. Otherwise, just write to the internet level that no, we'll do this way. I'm happy with that. No problem. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. But I will suggest devotees that any point of time, if you have any questions, just write it down in your diary or in your notebook, because definitely those the questions are important, and then we need to discuss that thoroughly. And as His Grace Amrish Prabhu suggested, yes, because these topics is just started, and I have this will come back again and again in the proper points. So I will this initiation point will come again now after a couple of paras. So these will come again and again. So I will suggest that you write it down, and then we can. I'll think about it as well, and I'll go through my points, and then yes, let you know, probably. Yes.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev.
Thank you.
Okay, so we can stop the program now. Let's stop the
Yes.
live stream and continue with the